Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Friday Family Talk Friday. Welcome. Excuse me. Welcome back to Family Talk Friday. I am here to empower, educate, inspire, and uplift small business owners. Today, I'm going to be discussing how government contracts are paid out because I know there are a lot of small business owners who really want to know about how this can work for them. How is it paid out? There's a lot of different myths that are out there. There's a lot of different advice and misadvice about government contracts and surrounding like the way that things are paid out. So I'm going to go cover some of that. But most importantly, I'm also going to cover like some mindset tips around the importance of moving forward with building your business with government contracts. So welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. Type your name in the chat. If you're joining on Facebook, be sure to click on the StreamYard link so that I'm able to see your name when you post a comment or a question in the chat. If you're joining on YouTube, welcome. Hit like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so that you know when we're going live each time. So you don't want to miss anything that we're going to be sharing that's valuable and can help you along the way in your journey. If you're new to me, I'm Karwanna D. I am your government contract strategist, and particularly I help women and minority small business owners generate massive income with government contracts, right? By teaching them a step-by-step strategy, a blueprint that shows them exactly how it works without leaving one single stone unturned, of course, so that you can actually get to the results faster. And that is what I do. Of course, if you want to learn more about the system, the strategy, and what we teach and how we can work together, go ahead and visit $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. I'll go ahead and post that in the chat to schedule a call to work with us or to at least find out how we can work together and help you with your business journey and getting started with government contracts. So welcome. Hi, Delisa. Tate from New Orleans. Hey, my family is back that way. Baton Rouge, Hammond, Amid, like all those different areas. So welcome. Hi, Random Flavors from Connecticut. Hello. Hey, Cameron from San Diego. I love San Diego. I actually lived there for about 10 years. All of my kids were born in San Diego. And then I moved back up to the Bay Area, but I love San Diego. That is my place to go and relax and escape. I lived in the North Park area and I miss it. Definitely. Let me see who else is here. So welcome. So I want to talk about a little bit about government contracts, of course, how it's paid out, because, people want to know. You may have heard, that, some businesses are doing extremely well. And then you also hear there's some, business owners that may go to like the SBA or the Small Business Support Center or whatever, and are told that there's nothing out there for you, or you're not qualified, or we don't know what you're talking about. There is no such thing as government contracts. The government doesn't buy your stuff. So all of that stuff is, as you know, just a myth. Of course, it's a distraction, of course, and definitely is not valid because the government buys everything. Anything that you can consume as a consumer, they consume as well. So you can pretty much position your business to sell your services, any type of service that you have, to the government. Even if you sell products, it's just all about positioning and understanding the marketing strategy and how to make it work. Those are some of the techniques that I work with my clients behind the scenes on, how to market yourself, how to get your services out there, and how to actually generate massive income with government contracts in a very short period of time. Hi, Katrina. And it says YCN. I don't know what that is, but hello from Toledo, Ohio. How are you? So as you all know that, not only do I share tips and strategies and insights about government contract, but it's it's something that I'm really inspired to do because of the success that I've personally had, the success that my clients, I've helped them to personally obtain and achieve through government contracting. And that is a concept that, of course, a lot of business owners didn't even know. Some of you probably didn't even know that you can sell your services to the government. Some of you are probably have been trying to figure it out step by step and kind of piece things together. Some of you have probably been Googling and watching a bunch of YouTube videos and trying to understand, but it's a whole world of information that's out there. And of course, it's information overwhelm. It is. And so unless you have a blueprint step by step or the time to figure out what information is valid, what's real, what's not, by Googling that, of course, it could be a long journey, right? But of course, we have coaches and consultants out there who can help you get there faster. And so I always recommend that you invest in yourself and learn how to work with someone who can show you the steps and the way, someone who's done it successfully. So the love of God, Andrea from Georgia, I have a funding business, need some help, need someone one-on-one help. Okay, so let me know what it is that you want help with, or go ahead and schedule your call with us here at the $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. Schedule your call with us and we'll see what we can do to assist you in your contracting business. But we would need to know a little bit more about what type of funding business you're referring to, what type of business, or help you think about some other ways to position your services so that we can definitely help you obtain some contracting. So anyway, it's the top of the hour, and I definitely wanted to get started with excuse me, some information to let you know about how government contracts are paid out. So typically, of course, when you get started with contracting, you want to know how often you're going to get paid, right? You want to know, can I leave my security job or fake security, or what seems and appears to be a security job, right? For some people, who may still work and they're trying to figure out if this is something that they definitely want to move out or move forward with doing. Can I leave that and feel secure and know that this is going to work for me 100%, and I don't have to, lean on it or think about, what ifs, right? So definitely, this is something, I've been doing contracting for several years now, and it's been a success, a great success. Of course, it takes work, right? And in order for your income to be consistent, you have to be consistent. So that is key, right? You have to be consistent. You can't stop with just one contract. So ideally, I want to say, this is the reason why I highly recommend that you are optimized to do contracting on the city, state, and federal levels, because it opens up opportunities for you to be able to simultaneously land multiple contracts and manage that simultaneously. And it may sound like a lot, but it's not. Just trust me that it may sound like a huge, responsibility, but it's not, right? It's just understanding how everything works and how contracting works. But ideally, contracts, depending on the level of government, right, you can typically be paid 30, 60, or 90 days. And I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. So ideally, contracting, when you invoice, when you provide a service or you get a contract, let's say you will have a 2-year contract, because most of these contracts are 2 to 5 years. Some are renewable for up to 10 years. So there's going to be some variations there. And you definitely want to keep an open mind that every contract is going to be different, right? But number one, you have the ability during the contract signing process to negotiate what your payment terms are going to be. So if you have specific responsibilities, like maybe you have a staff that needs to be paid every 2 weeks or whatever, and you don't have the capital, which we'll talk about. Actually, we're having a masterclass tomorrow. I'll talk about that at the end. But if you don't have the capital, you can either lean on building business credit for that capital to pay your people, but you definitely want to have some type of sustainability or some type of plan in place. There are some times where you can negotiate to have a percentage, right? It's called, and it depends on the agency, it depends on the level of government, it depends on if you're priming or if you're subbing. Like, everything is going to be a case-by-case basis. Sometimes you can actually request a percentage of your contract up front so that you can mobilize, so that you can have the capital to begin paying your staff if you have a staff, or begin paying yourself, or maybe purchase some of the materials you need to move forward in the job. And everything is negotiable, right? But ideally, you can negotiate your payment terms, right? Typically, I particularly, because I like the influx of income all at the end of the month, I typically negotiate 30-day net terms for myself, right? For my business, because that is my preference. I do understand that some of you may want to negotiate bi-weekly. And again, it's negotiable. Some agencies that's okay with, that may be okay, and they may approve that, but some may not, okay? And the thing about it is, I know on the federal level, a lot more times you can negotiate bi-weekly payment terms. And again, it's on a case-by-case basis. Everything just kind of depends. But what I want to say is what I find locally on the city level, because I know some of you may have heard that, the city contracts take up to 90 days, and they could, okay? Sometimes, depending on the city and there's laws that govern how contractors are paid. It's called prompt pay laws. So depending on where you are, and those prompt pay acts are all over the United States. So every state has different prompt pay laws or whatever that govern when a contractor needs to be paid within a certain time frame. And if not, this is what's important to know. You need to understand that act. You need to understand what your rights are and know that even if an agency is behind, let's just say you have a 30-day net account, you're contracted, maybe the prompt pay act there is 30 days. And after that, there's penalties. So you can actually bill penalties and interest to that agency for being late daily. Okay. So those are things that kind of protect you, but it also helps you to kind of, just fail proof your business, or can I say that? Or it just kind of helps you protect yourself, protect your income and your interest, right, into your business and your payments. But I do want to say this. So sometimes on the city, state, and not on the city, state, but also on the city and county level, sometimes different agencies have a 90-day net. So you never know until you actually read the contract and understand or ask those questions. What is your max payment net? What can we negotiate? These are all the things that you want to think about in your business when you're signing a contract, right? And this is what the point today that I wanted to have this is because sometimes people hear that and they just decide that this is not something that I want to do, because what if my payment don't come for 90 days? I can't afford to wait 90 days to get paid. Okay. But here's where I want to help you. And I don't see this information or this type of advice coming from anywhere. So I want to step in to show you I'm not only going to show you, but I want to help you with some mindset things when it comes to that, right? Number one, the government is spending multiple trillions of dollars in government contracts every single year on small business products and services, and they're spending that with small business owners. They're also spending it with larger businesses, but I'm particularly talking about what they're spending with small business owners. They have these utilization goals where they want to help you build your business. They want to utilize your services. They need to spend these funds and show that there's diversity and inclusion with small businesses, with women, and all these other social, economic, and diversity groups, right? And so with that said, all these opportunities, you have the ability, which I am the one I have multiple contracts that I manage simultaneously. So if your mind is one contract and you're just thinking that, you're going to be broke, period, point blank. Because what if that contract pays out 90 days? Then you're dependent on that one. But where I want you to get to the level of having multiple contracts, because when you have multiple contracts, it doesn't matter if one is 30 days, one is 90 days, one is 45 days, one is bi-weekly, because there's always money hitting your bank account at any given point of the month, simultaneous income, right? So let's just say most of your contracts pay in 30 days. Boom, boom, boom. That's like $80,000 a month that's consistently hitting you 90 days. Maybe there's one that, hitting you in 30 days, but maybe there's one that comes every 90 days. So I've heard some business owners say, well, I don't want to do business I'm not interested in getting business certified with the city and county, or doing business with the city and county, because sometimes they pay 90 days. Well, if you have money coming in bi-weekly, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, it should not matter if that 90th day there's an influx on top of your 70K or whatever it is. I'm just using that as an example. On top of your 70K that you're generating a month on all your other contracts, 3 to 4 or 5 contracts or whatever that you currently have, simultaneously, there's an influx of another $20,000-$30,000 on that 90th day. What does that help? What does that hurt? What does that hurt? So when I hear small business owners say, well, this is the reason why, right? I know that for number one, you're not doing much. Maybe you're not doing much in business. Maybe you're not interested in growing capacity. Maybe you don't really understand, or maybe you just really don't understand the power of optimizing and leaving these doors open and these gates open. Because basically, ideally, it's just like saying, this influx of income, I don't want. I'm not going to go after. Well, unless you've made it beyond the phase of a small business, you should never leave any money on the table. That's just my opinion, right? It's like saying, oh, I don't want to do business with the city because it's going to take me them 90 days to pay me my 100,000. I don't need that 100,000. I'm going to stay right here and just do what I'm doing on this level, and leave that 100,000 over there, even though it's going to take them 90 days to pay me. That doesn't make sense. So really, we got to think about, what are we really saying when we close doors, or will we make those type of decisions, right? Because the purpose and the point of contracting with the government is to have multiple simultaneous contracts, not just one. You don't want to ever just stop at one, because you don't want to do that. Period. It's too many opportunities. And guess what? That one contract that you have, let's just say you have you have one contract for like 150,000 for that year. And out of that, you're probably spending like 2 hours a month, right? So what are you going to do with the other hours? You have space to manage, another 2 to 3 contracts. And these are like real life scenarios that I've seen. I've seen those numbers work just like that. So that one contract that you have for like 150,000 for 2 days of work per month, that's like 24 days out of the year. Now you have more space where you can manage another 5 or 6 or 7, whatever, right? So then you duplicating that 150,000 times 5, 6, and 7, right? So in your mind, you're going to say, well, I don't want to duplicate that because it's going to take them 90 days to pay me. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, what questions do you have around that? I'm going to read some of y'all posts here. I'm good, Amber. Hi, Amber. Okay. I have an online store registered in SAM and I have an active status now. Yay. Congratulations. I finished my capability statement. Awesome. Random flavors. Cool. That's good. That's super awesome. So like I said, you want to maximize, don't stop with SAM. SAM is federal, right? But you definitely want to look into state and local contracting opportunities as well, so that you're opening the doors. Like if you're in business to do business and they have these funds for you as a small business, why not go after it on every level in every aspect? I have all of my certifications. Let me see. I'm gonna bring some of these up. Excuse me. Facebook user. So this is the reason why I always say click on the StreamYard so I can see your name. Otherwise, I don't know who it is. But I'm gonna read your question. It says I have all my certifications, local, state government. Congratulations. I believe you meant federal as well. I'm also working currently on an RFP. I'm interested in learning more about mentoring program to really get a system going. Yeah. And that's really great that you're thinking about that. Is awesome. Because guess what? Getting the certifications is only the first step of many. And it's only this big out of this much. Let me see. Out of this much is only that small. So getting certification is the first step, and that's super awesome. Definitely you want to do that, but there is a system and a strategy, and I understand that your request is you want to find out like what's next and how does all this work, because there's a lot of moving parts, and if you don't understand and know, you could be sitting on those certifications for years and never land a contract, because if you don't understand the process and what to do. Yeah. Yeah, so Javis, hi Javis. Do you have any examples of contracts awarded to truck drivers, small trucking business? Yeah. So on my YouTube channel, which you're joining from YouTube, you should Google or find on my channel government contracts for the trucking business. It's definitely one there that can show you real numbers about trucking. And we're talking about, if you're in the trucking industry, there's huge contracts for that. So and it depends, like there's a bunch of different type of trucking. There's trucking and hauling. There's long what do you call it, like long-term driving or whatever, going somewhere far. And there's deliveries. There's a bunch of different type of trucking services, contract and examples that you'll find in those resources. Can you get contracts without certifications? Great question. Rima, good question. Can you get contracts without certifications? Yes. Because guess what? Walmart, Uber, who else? Lyft, like all those companies, Amazon, those are mega businesses. And I'm sure those mega businesses are not small businesses anymore. They've surpassed those thresholds, but they still get contracts with the government. The purpose of certifications is because there's all out of all the spend, there's a percentage that's mandated to go to certified small business owners, right? So if you're not certified, you're competing with the big fish like Amazon or whoever, those huge, those they're already multi-billion dollar companies. It's really hard to compete with that if you come with zero cash flow, zero resources, or limited resources as a micro, tiny, small business, right? Compared to that big fish. So the purpose of certifications is to be a part of this pool that says it's set aside specifically for me. Now I have my ticket and my leverage to go after that, right? It just makes it a little bit easier. It's more accessible to you as a small business if you go after what's set aside and you have the power to leverage your certifications to get a piece of the pie. So that's the power. There's power in being certified. So, oh, thank you, Stacey, for sharing that. So she did drop the link for the Javis. This is the link for the YouTube video on government contracts for trucking. Just click on that link if you see it in the chat, or just Google it in YouTube. You're welcome. Will this be safe for future viewing? Alicia, yes. So yeah, it'll be in the group. If you're in the group, you'll be able to go back and watch the replay. So anyway, point being about government contracts, how it's paid out, 30, 60, 90, maximizing opportunities on local, state, and federal, understanding that you're supposed to have multiple contracts simultaneously, because when that money is coming in, it doesn't matter if on the 90th day there's an influx of extra income. You don't want to turn away opportunities when you're a small business in the first place. It's just knowing the process, the blueprint, and knowing that you're going to do this and you're going to go all in, right? It's because you want the success, right? And so the system and the strategy that works. Okay. Now, if you want to haphazardly, just kind of play at government contracts, of course, that's not going to work for you if you got to wait 90 days and you don't have nothing else coming in and you only have that one contract, right? So the purpose is to maximize and do these things simultaneously. So long haul, yeah. Yeah, so long haul trucking, that's the word I was looking for. I couldn't figure it out what I wanted to say, but anyway, so let me share with you all. And I typically don't, you guys know I'm hella transparent. Like, I'm really transparent. I really show y'all information because I really want you to get it, and I really want you to understand like what I'm showing you. Like, I mean, I can be doing that. I do it, and I could be doing this and keeping it to myself. That's what most people do. They keep the jewels and the gems, and this is what I did to get to success to themselves, right? I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to share with everybody, which is why I created this platform as well as my coaching program, to not only show you and share with you the tips and behind the scenes, but to walk you through it. And of course, to walk you through it, there's a small investment for me to stick by your side and help you build your multi-billion-dollar business, right? You can't get that for $55. You can't get that for free. Multi-million, billion-dollar business is going to be a fee to have a coach, right? To show you those steps, right? But as far as giving tips and all that information, of course, you could piece it together, but how long is it going to take you to piece it together and with all this influx of over information and overwhelm that's out there. But anyway, I currently have managed multiple contracts. I remember when I just had one, right? And for me, that one, when I just had that one, that first contract that I always share was $70,000 for 28 days of work, right? And I, for me, if that would have paid out in 90 days, that would have been like, I'm waiting, I'm watching the calendar, right? But what I did was I repeated the system and started landing multiples of those. And so that's how the 30 days, 2 weeks, 60 days, 90, like it didn't matter. At some point, you want to grow your business to the point where it doesn't matter if it's 30, 60, 90 or whatever, however many days, because everything is paying. You have money coming in constantly throughout the month, right? That's a good problem to have. So here we have Cameron. Hi, Cameron. My business is resource services, international. Okay, cool. So what kind of international service do you have? So here's the thing. I have, while I'm waiting for you to post that in the chat, Cameron, and respond to that, what type of business resource services do you have? I have multiple contracts simultaneously. Oh, and I didn't mean to show that, but let me see. Let me see if I can edit this really quick, guys, because some information I don't want to show, like clients, that type of stuff. Yeah, I can mark that out. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys know that I'm really transparent. I want to take you behind the scenes. So here's one scenario. I had two. These are two projects. So two of the simultaneous contracts that I have, they kind of pay haphazardly. So they got to pay out 90 days. Like two of them kind of pay out in 90 days, but it doesn't matter because for me, I have income coming in all throughout the month. And so this is basically a screen share. I'm gonna share my screen with you all. Application window. Let me see if you guys, let me know if you can see this. Okay, so and I don't know if you can see it really good, but let me remove myself. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Sorry about that. So hopefully you can hear me. But what I was saying was, you can see me, you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure you hear me. So what I was saying was, if the scenario is I'm not going to do business with the city and county because, okay, cool. Glad you can hear me. Because, they pay 90 days out, right? As long as you have multiple contracts coming in simultaneously, what happens if you have this, say, two scenarios that hit on one day? So this is an extra 25,000 that hit in one day. That waiting that 90th day, that's just an extra influx, right? So when you say I'm not going to get certified on the city level, I don't want to do business with the city because it's paying 90 days, you're basically saying, oh, I don't want y'all, keep that, this right here, keep that 25K or whatever, right? So if you're in a position to just say keep that 25 or 30,000 or 50,000 or whatever, then that's awesome. Maybe you're in a position already where you're generating too much income to accept more income, right? So that's basically what you're saying. If you say, I don't want to do business, I'm only going to stick to Sam. That's basically what you're saying. I'm only going to do federal contracts, right? You're basically saying, I'm going to leave this other money on the table. So I just wanted to share that, the mindset around, optimizing, the mindset around when you hear other people's story and their sob story about, it takes 90 days to pay on a city level. So don't do that. And then you make that a part of your journey. you block yourself from blessings and opportunities when you do that, and it does not make sense. Okay, cool. Let's see. Cameron says, client reach out to me to find specific products for various government. Oh, good. Personally, I want to see how I can utilize my business for U.S. government in local city, state, and county. Okay, cool. So resources like specific products for government. So those products could be what? What's an example of that? Electrical services, internet services for government buildings. Like those are all the things, like janitorial services, whatever. Yeah, so you can definitely be a resource, but I would need to know more. So I would recommend, I would recommend that you schedule a strategy session with us so we can know more about what you do, so we can kind of help you understand a game plan for getting started with government contracts. So $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com is where you go to schedule a session. Let me see. Okay, cool. So now what I want to know from you all, like out of the ones that are joining me here on Facebook and YouTube, are you doing any contracting? And if you are contracting with the government, what are your payment terms? Are you doing 30 days nets? Are you doing 60-day nets? Are you doing 90 days nets? Is this helpful? This information helpful? Are you the one that, heard from someone that the city takes 90 days or up to 90 days, and you decided based on someone else's experience not to do business with the government? So you're leaving money on the table. Let me know who you are so I can, help you like really understand positioning yourself to optimize is the best way to do business with the government, but it's also the best way to grow a thriving business, have consistent, sustainable income. And realistically, at that point, when you have those 90-day net accounts, that's an influx. Really, we just want to look at it as this is what's consistent every 30 days. This is what's consistent every 2 weeks, right? And every 90 days, I have an influx of income on those 90-day nets. If you look at it from that perspective, it's all about how you think about things and how you view opportunities that are out there. If you look at it from that perspective, of course, I'm pretty sure you will no longer leave money on the table, and you will want to move forward with optimizing your business for local, state, and federal government contracts. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm definitely sharing, how our government contracts are paid out. This is the way that they're paid out, but also know that on every level of government and every contract, everything is negotiable. There's also prompt pay acts all over the United States where it'll let you know what the payment terms are. Once a contractor is paid, how long do they have to pay you? How long does an agency have to pay you after you've invoiced them before you can actually impose penalties and interest or whatever, which is even more money for you? Can you negotiate payments up front? Yes, in some cases you can negotiate. It's called mobilization or mobilizing your business. In some cases that is allowed. It depends on a case-by-case basis. Depending on the agency, it depends on if you're a subcontractor working with a prime. It depends on the prime and what they have the ability to do, because of course sometimes you have services to where you have to purchase equipment in order to do the job, or hire a staff in order to do the job, or get materials in order to do the job. And so that is the reason why the more information that you are equipped with, and the more knowledgeable you are about government contracting, having a strategy and a system and knowing how everything works. Like I said, there's massive information and information overwhelm everywhere, right? And connecting the dots could be very difficult because none of it is connected. None of it, unfortunately, none of it connects anywhere online. But of course, it would take someone who's an expert, who's been doing this successfully, who's an insider, that's knowledgeable about, it can show you the blueprint of what they did to get there so that you can get there too. Systems are duplicatable, right? You duplicate the system, you duplicate the results, and even better, right? Thank you. She says, this is great information. I have a contract, but it's not government yet. Oh, cool. It's right now with a nonprofit, 2 nonprofits, and it's on a 30-net basis. Yeah. So all of that information, of course, there's multiple different types of contracts. Is the best way to grow your business, because when you compare contracts to individual people, individual customers are one-offs, right? They may come once, they may come twice, but it's like you cannot build a consistent business on individual customers. You have to have contracts because that gives you long-term sustainability. It lets you know in advance, at least if I have 2 or 3 contracts, this is what I'm getting paid over these 2 to 3 years or however long those contracts. At least you know what your consistency and your sustainability is when it comes to income. But that's also power that you can use to go get lines of credit from the bank, power that you can use to go, get a mortgage or whatever, because you have that contract, that signed contract that has a dollar value amount over a period of time, right? That's money in the bank. That paper is money in the bank even before it gets to your bank, right? So understanding how all that works is important. In order to get in your program, good question. So in order to get in your program, hi, Imani, do I need to have a business name, EIN, local, state, county, federal paperwork completed first? No. So what you do need to have is a business, okay? Everything else from there, we help you and guide you and show you exactly what you need to get. So if you have a business, it takes like literally 10 minutes to get an EIN, right? So at most, you want to definitely have a business license already before we work together. And again, we're talking about local, state, and federal levels of government. Sometimes on a local level, they require you to be in business for like 6 months. In some cities, it's 12 months or whatever, but that's still, you definitely don't want to not move forward because of what it says on the local level, because you can be landing contracts on the state and federal level while you sit your 6 months out or your 12 months out for the local level, if that makes sense. Hopefully I said that right. On the state and federal level, you can be landing contracts while you're waiting for your time to pass on the city level. So you can get started. Like whenever you're ready and you're serious about growing your business, you can get started. And this is what I want to say. Definitely. If you have a business and you definitely want to win in that business and be highly profitable this year, we're not talking about 2 years down the road. I'm not talking about 5 years down the road. I'm not talking about 10 years down the road or maybe tomorrow. I'm not talking about those wishful things. I'm talking about if you want to be profitable this year, you have to get the system, period, point blank, because my clients are landing contracts within 3 to 6 months. The system works. The only thing that's not in position are those who are not ready or don't understand the process and don't have the know-how or the knowledge on how it works and to make it happen for themselves, right? So if you definitely want to win this year, land contracts this year, while there's still multiple trillions on the table, this is where you go to schedule a call for only those who are serious, right? And you definitely are ready to move forward. Schedule a call to work with me and my team. We'll walk you through the process, get to know a little bit more about you so we can create a game plan, a real game plan to help you win this year. And that is a guarantee. Like, we're going to make sure that you understand the full blueprint process. You follow the system, you will get the results. The results it works, right? So, but of course, there's work. Okay. Someone asked, she were asking, like, do you have to have a business and all this stuff before we can get in your program? Yeah, you do have to have a business at minimum. Okay. Everything else we work on together, but you have to have a business in order to do business with the government. And I say that mostly because right now, of course, you can open a LLC or whatever same day. It's the city business license that's taking longer right now because a lot of agencies are closed. So the faster you can get started with at least establishing your business, the faster you can get started with at least getting started with government contracts. So this year you can win contracts, multiple contracts simultaneously. And I'll show you how to do that. You don't have to figure out nothing. Jerry, hi, Jerry. He said, I missed you live. You can watch the replay. Yeah, so this year, so you can win this year, right? and grow your business significantly. We're talking about massive income, right? I mean, those two numbers that I show you guys, that influx on that 90th day, that was for 2 5-freaking-minute videos. 2 5-minute freaking videos. Okay. So just imagine if you're in trucking, if you're in financing, if you're in billing or daycare, whatever type of service you have, how lucrative this could be for you. So anyway, be sure to go ahead and schedule a call with me and my team. Only if you're serious and ready to do the work, because you cannot drag your feet. You cannot make excuses. You have to be ready to move your business to the next level. And we can't make you be ready, right? You have to come ready. We can only help you and guide you with the proper steps, right? So that you can get there successfully. But $20governmentcontracts.com is where you would go to actually schedule the call to work with us and apply to work with us. How often do you renew SAM? Annually. So every year you'll receive an email a couple months prior to your expiration. I think they send it like 4 to 6 months before. I think about 4 months before it expires, they'll let you know. And then you just renew. Renewing is really simple. Really, you just, if nothing has changed in your business, like ownership, point of contact, if you're adding NAICS codes or whatever services, if nothing has changed, you're basically just saying submit, and then, continue, and then submit. And then, voila, you don't have to renew for a whole nother year. But really good question. I can't access your website. Okay. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. $1 trillion government contract. You may have to put, sometimes it comes up weird. You may have to put the www on it. But this is the direct link. So if you click on that link that I just posted, and Stacia just posted, then you should be able to access it. But again, you may have to put the https://www.trilliondollargovernmentcontracts.com. I don't know why. Sometimes it works like that. Sometimes it don't. But just go ahead and click on the link and we'll make sure that you have access or get access. Do construction contracts follow the same protocol as other services? Hi, Kelvin. So yes, it pretty much do. So a lot of the work that I do is under general contractors. It falls under construction. And so 30, 60, 90 days, you definitely, those are the like payment terms. Most of the time, if you are the general contractor, of course, you have your own terms. If you're a sub, the general contractor has to pay you depending on the prompt payment law where you are. Here in California, it's like within 7 days. They have to pay you within 7 days that they are paid. Okay. So where you are, it may be within 3 days or 72 hours or whatever. So it depends on where you are locally. But also definitely you want to also have a construction notice served on the project so that you're protecting yourself. It's a lien. It's basically putting a lien on the project. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're in construction, that's probably something that you already are aware of, but you definitely want to put liens on projects from the beginning. And you have to do that within like the first 10 days of signing a contract to become a part of that project. So at the end of that project, when the construction is about to complete and then they're about to get their last check, if you have a claim that says you missed the check, they didn't pay you right, or they're playing, whatever, it's going to hold up them getting their last check until they resolve that issue. So those are like some of the tips, of course, that I can share with you on how to protect yourself when it comes to contracting under construction and general contractors. You're welcome. All right. So you all have a great day. I just hopefully this was helpful. Let me know in the chat if this is helpful. For some of you, we're going to work together to land contracts to help you get contracts this year. Like we have, what is this month? This is 4. So we have about 6 months left. I don't know how many. No, we got about 8 or 9 months left. Eight months left in the year. So this year, like I said, most of my clients are landing contracts within 3 to 6 months, typically the 3rd month, but 3 to 6 months is like has been that sweet spot. Hey, this is Andrea. Is this Andrea? Great listening to you. Have a cleaning service that would definitely want to talk to you and your team about government contracts. Cool. Hey, Andrea Vanderpool. I love that name. It sounds like money. It sounds like you come from money. That's one of those names. You sound like you come from money. Andrea Vanderpool. So cleaning services are killing the game right now. So, I mean, there's a lot more women that are getting into janitorial cleanup, construction cleanup, like janitorial services. Lots and lots and lots and lots of opportunities for everybody, but definitely for janitorial cleaning. So if you are not in position, be sure to click on the link to schedule. The link is in the chat. Click on the link to schedule a call to work with us. Be sure to put in the, this HTTP and a www, but the website is $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. And definitely apply to work with us. Okay. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Rima. Thank you, Random Flavors. And Stacia just left. Stacia just left a message for Veronica Hayes. Try to open more. Oh, try again. Open more spots. That's because, okay. So our calendar gets booked like really, really fast. So Stacia's going to open up some more space on our calendar, and feel free to open up my calendar too. Yeah. So what else we have? Wilco, hello. It says my, where the money at masterclass. Okay. Thank you for dropping that. So here's some things that I want to share with you all who are brand spanking new. So where the money at is a masterclass that I've partnered with a young lady who is passionate as I am about growing small businesses, especially women-owned and minority-owned small businesses. We have powered and come together. Tomorrow, we're having a masterclass called Where the Money At. The masterclass is opening. It starts tomorrow, but this is the last chance to get in. But if you go to qualifyforgovernmentcontracts.com/where the money at, where the DA, where the money at, we're going to be walking small business owners through government contracting. Of course, we're going to do an overview about government contracting on the local, state, and federal level, like what's available, how to get in position, all those different things. Of course, we're going to be offering a special discount on enrolling into the program and applying to work with us. But also Stacia, that's my team member, business success team member there. But also Sharita is going to be talking about building business credit, because both of us are really passionate about generational wealth, of helping small business owners like yourself learn how to grow your business and build generational wealth, right? There's multiple wheels that are on that vehicle. Your business is a vehicle, right? One of the wheels to generating wealth, of course, is government contracts. Another wheel to generating wealth, and you definitely want to have 4 wheels. There's a bunch of more things that we'll be covering in the masterclass, is building business credit, because a lot of times people don't have access to capital, access to money and income, especially for those of you who are in the product-based business and you want to sell products to the government, and you're trying to figure out, well, they have me with this huge contract. I just got a $500,000 contract, right? And I got to supply tennis shoes to the government. How do I get the money to supply those tennis shoes, right? Of course, if you don't have the capital, that's where you lean on business credit. So all those things work together for the good. It worked together for the good, because that gives you capital, that gives you access, and it helps you to generate wealth, because those lines of credit that, of course, you get to leverage your business to be able to do stuff like this on this particular level. Of course, once it's paid off by the government, then it's accessible to you again. Boom, hitting rinse and repeat, right? So again, if you want to join us in the masterclass, be sure to click on qualifyforgovernmentcontracts.com/where the money at, which is DA money at. And we're going to show you where the money is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. Central. No matter where you are, we're going to help you map out a plan to generate wealth for your business, and to show you the vehicles, the wheels that can go on this vehicle to help you get there faster, so you can build long-term sustainable wealth that's generational, to help you pass down, of course, to be able to have power, to be able to do things, to be able to pass down for generations to come. So join us tomorrow. The registration is only $55 for all that game. And we've teamed up to do that because we want to help our people and empower folks on building business credit, but also government contracts and how it works as a whole. Let me see. Just signed up, Cynthia. Cool. Can anyone join? I'm not established yet, but yep, this will help you, Amani. So if you're not established yet, girl, come register and bring your pen and your notepad. You want to do that because this is I love it when people are new and haven't established, because this will show you exactly what you need to do ahead of time before you even get started. Because a lot of times people who start businesses, they miss some steps and don't know that they've missed those steps until you get to a workshop like this and like, oh, that's the reason why, when I go to the bank, I get declined, or that's the reason why I'm a broke business or a struggling business and I'll have limited resources and can't do anything to get my business moving forward because they're missing some steps. So we're going to show you how to close those gaps from the start. That's what I love about new business owners who have not even started yet. You'll know how to start it successfully, jumpstart that profitable business from the beginning. So Facebook user says, I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't wait to see you till tomorrow, but I am over my time. You guys have a great weekend, and I hope this was helpful. So Cynthia, we'll see you tomorrow. That's super awesome. Amani and a lot of you all others as well. We'll see you tomorrow at the workshop. And for those of you who are just going to apply to work with us inside the $1 trillion government contracts accelerator, key point making, $1 trillion accelerator, right? We're going to show you how to grow a multi-billion-dollar business through in the accelerator. All right. So, and again, we'll join us in the masterclass at qualifiedforgovernmentcontracts.com/where the money at for tomorrow. And you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the money side. All right.